SNAFU episode 5. Let's get it. So, we basically begin right where we left off with the previous episode. Previous episode's up here if you haven't seen it. Hachiman talks to Hirosuke Sensei about the prom. They basically, what has happened, like the PTO and the teachers and whoever, that they're trying to get the students to basically voluntarily quit from having the prom happen. To basically quote Hachiman, as long as a problem isn't treated like a problem, it's not really a problem. But once something is acknowledged as a problem, it's easier to give in and deal with it than to basically fight back against the fallout. And they showed a very interesting little depiction of a granny holding an apple and just basically everybody berating her for picking the apple. And it's so true in today's society where nothing is a problem until people turn and then they just make it a problem, and everyone just has to say that this is a problem and we don't like this. Even if it's not seen as a problem, if people don't like it, it's now a problem. And those words are so true. It's almost scary in a way how accurate this show is. Who's texting me? Oh, holy shit, they won. Go D-backs. Hachiman is pretty much set on wanting to fix the prom for Yukino, even though she told him before not to. Hirosuke Sensei just gives Hachiman advice and tells him, just because you saved the prom, you're not saving Yukino herself. It all depends on how you interact with her, and also that you should trust yourselves and use your experiences to compromise. And that definitely is seen later within the episode. Once we get past that part, there is actually a really cute scene of Hirosuke Sensei telling Hachiman to take her as a bride, which I found very interesting. I don't know if she's joking or being dead serious, but I thought it was funny that we were seeing Hachiman having his inner monologue and telling basically anyone, please take her, please take her. I can't do it, just take her. Hachiman then makes his way to the club room where we see Aroha. She basically blocks him from getting into the door and tells Hachiman to state your business, which then he replies that he's here to help. Aroha basically takes Hachiman, and then they go and go talking for a bit. They go outside to have a little chat. Hachiman says that he knows that he basically knows how to talk to Yukino. Aroha gets a little irritated with that. Flat out asks him, why do you even want to help us so badly? At first Hachiman just says, I have reasons. Aroha grabs him by the shirt and says, give me a proper answer. And then Hachiman says, it's hard to put into words. Aroha's like, try me. And then he says with a very serious face and just very, I guess, serious demeanor, he says, it's my responsibility. And then she just gets wound up in it and then just goes, okay, I'm sorry. Hachiman feels responsible for how their friendship has gone with the whole, how they lean on each other for help. To me, I think the whole taking responsibility sentence, it has a deeper meaning in Japan. I think it's basically like saying, like this thing is of the utmost importance. Because I've heard that a lot in animes where they say, you better take responsibility for this. I think that's more or less what it means. Hachiman and Aroha then make their way back to the student council room. Yukino sees Hachiman and asks him if he's heard the news. He said, yeah, he was with Yui when he heard about it. And then Yukino just kind of gives almost like a shocked, surprised look on her face, just like, oh, you were with her. Oops. They then talk back and forth about the prom, and they also kind of go over what ideas that she has to save it. Hachiman flat out asks if he could like help her with the prom. Before Yukino could even get any words in, Hachiman kind of like says what he needs to say. He says that he won't stop her from her doing her own idea, but at the same time he won't add anything. He's basically just like the hired help. He's not going to intervene, but he'll be there. Yukino's just like, I'm basically going to be relying on you again if you did that, so I really don't think that's a good idea. And she kind of makes that look again that she did in the previous episode. Hachiman then tells her that she wants to basically save her. We then get a flashback to that scene in the previous season where Yukino told Hachiman to save her one day. Yukino basically says thanks, but no thanks. So then what happens next? Hachiman says that he's not going to help her, but instead he wants to challenge her to a showdown instead. Dun, 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 showdown. We then get a flashback of them having a difference of opinion in the past, and Hiratsuka Sensei kind of like set up the showdown. It's like, who can solve the most problems in I forget the name of the club, like the service club. Yeah, I think that's it. So basically, by doing this, Hachiman isn't technically helping Yukino, and Hachiman can help by doing things his way, save the prom, and then make it good for both Iroha and Yukino. I thought that was a pretty clever way of going about it. Yukino agrees to this, but under the condition that whoever loses, they have to do whatever request that the winner says. Like, whoever wins, the loser basically has to do whatever that one thing is to tell them. And they both agree to it. Hachiman says, I'm surprised that you agreed so easily. And that's when Yukino said, you should know, I hate losing to you. Harkens back to Hiratsuka Sensei basically saying, do what you guys are good at, and you know each other better than you think. Complete the circle. This then leads to Iroha having her... she has herself basically an inner monologue. There's a lot of inner monologues this season that isn't just Hachiman, which I find very interesting. She basically says that she feels like an idiot listening to what them two are talking about. She feels like an outsider. She feels irrelevant. She's in the same room and doesn't even know what they're even doing. To me, this makes perfect sense. Like, she's an outsider. She came way late in the game. She came in around season 2. She never had that chance to kind of bond like Yui and Yukino did. They had more time with Hachiman. So Iroha, I think, is more upset and annoyed because she comes off really like just mad and keeps wanting him to take responsibility. Like, she says that more than once in the show. I was a little confused by that at first, but as the show as the episode went on, I think it's more she's upset because Hachiman wanted her to kind of give her that serious look and take responsibility, because she was taken aback when he basically said, I want to take responsibility for Yukino and make sure what happened. But she was just like, whoa, who's this guy? I don't know, this guy's mysterious. I like this guy. I think she was just more jealous than anything. That's my guess, is that she was jealous of the fact that he's giving Yukino attention. And Aroha is just in the corner going, "What about me?" We get a little after credit scene where Yukino's still at school. Aroha, she's about to be taking off and going back home. Yukino tells Aroha to set up a meeting for tomorrow to basically save the prom. She feels like she has an idea that's going to work, and of course, since she's being competitive, she wants to get at this, and she's going at it because she doesn't want to lose to Hachima. There was one quote that Yukino said that I found very interesting. She said, as she was typing and speaking to Aroha, maybe she was speaking to herself, "This will be the last one. Then I can truly end things with this." She Aroha's walking away saying, "All right, I'll leave you to it." Yukino puts eye drops in her eyes, and it almost is like, tears are running down her face, whether it be tears from the eye drops themselves or emotional tears. I'm not 100% sure what she means by when she says, like, "I can truly end things with this," but I'm guessing that it has something to do with the showdown bet. And I'm thinking maybe if she wins, what like she's hoping that she does, that she can maybe say what's on her mind, or maybe do something to kind of get Hachiman. I almost feel like she wants to tell him something, like a confession or something. That's my guess. Overall, another great and fantastic episode. This one, I feel, wasn't as emotional as last week, but to me, it's going to be hard to do better than last week's episode, because last week's episode was so emotional and so well done that I think future episodes are going to be hard to kind of top that. But I think it'll be done. I just don't know how or when, but it's definitely going to be done. And this one, yet another great episode. I couldn't ask for a better show than this and what's going on right now. So, all right, thank you all for stopping by. Give me a like, give me a sub, give me a comment, give me all of that. You'll get more content like this the very next week. All right, see y'all later. Bye bye.